Peace, family. Welcome. It is 10:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it is a Saturday evening. What is this? May the 9th, 2026. Welcome. Come on in the room, check in. I can't wait to see you all. I'm so happy that everyone's here. Check in. Let us know where you're hailing from, family members. We're going to get started in just a few minutes. Peace, Soul Tribe. And the chief is coming in as well. In the room. Welcome. Come on in the room, family. Let me acknowledge everyone that's here. Hey, Brother Sherman. Good to see you. Good to see Fawn in the house. I see Penny, Las Vegas in the house. Malcolm is here from Queens. Hi, Golden Heart. Hi, Mark. Stanley's in the house. Hello, Jamie. LA in the house. Hi, Daryl. Wendy. Lightborn, welcome. Hey. I'll let you enjoy the music.
Through her channel, knowledge flows.
Come in the room, family. Greetings, Amelia. Hi, Sister Hattie. Sekmek Fire Goddess in the house. Greetings. Hi, Mark. Ajwa. Indeed, from California is in the house. Hi, Hybrid. Hi, Nadine. Renee's in the house. Jacqueline. Our moderator, Sister Janine, is in the house. Come on in, family.
From currencies to investments divine, she's helping her tribe to realign with wisdom, ancient and new, showing what we all can do.
Hi, Rose. Carolyn. Million back in the house. Sika. Indigo. Daryl. Houston's in the house.
Soul tribe rising, hear her call.
Come on in.
Vibrations for one and all. Dr. Kia shows the way to a brighter, freer day.
Come in the room, family.
Soul tribe rising, hear a call, raising vibrations.
Selena's in the house. Hi, Sister Chrissy. Pineapple. Nice. Hit the like button, family, as you enter the room. Thank you, Sister Janine. Hi, Jilly. Who's in the house? Shy's in the house. Carlos in the house. Wendy's in the house. Jay's in the house. All right, Soul Tribe, thank you for being here. Welcome. I know it's getting late in the evening. It's an old Baptist song. It's getting late in the evening, and the sun has gone down. It's good to see everybody. Who else is here? Happy's in the house. Who's that? Jill's in the house. Happy. Sister Juanita, welcome. Welcome, Elton. It's good to see you. Peace and blessings to you too. Is it Tahe? Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Please forgive me. Amelia says, welcome again. Family, I'm just coming here tonight to encourage you. And Chief Max in the house as well. We just want to encourage you, family, because a lot of people think nothing's happening. And we don't blame them because if you can't see it, you may not know, what's happening. And if you've been waiting for a long time, you can get tired. So I'm going to go ahead and bring on Chief. I don't know if he wants to come on before I give the intel, but I do want to show you all that there are FBI raids going all across the globe. Why? Because they only have until July the 4th to clean up this mess. We are in the 250th anniversary of the birthday of the United States of America. Now, the country's already always been here, the land's always been here, but this is the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence, which is why Charles came here, Charles III, and he gave a speech to President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump. So he came during the 250th anniversary of the United States of America. Also, this is the 25th anniversary of 9/11. So this is very symbolic, his coming here to show that this is the end of admiralty law and maritime law. He's passing the torch or the crown down to President Trump, and he's removing us totally away from the control of the British crown. Since the United States Incorporated and all of us have been removed from the British crown, that means that there has to be a massive cleanup. Because under admiralty law and maritime law, you had 445 government agencies that were created to control we the people. You also had attorneys and judges to haul us off in their courtrooms to make us slaves while they continue to control us. So since the corporation is being dismantled, that means that the judges and the attorneys have to stand down too, as well as their policy enforcers. Oh, they have to be arrested. They have to stand down. Remember, as I told you all through motu proprio, which was the Pope's letter to President Obama in 2014, he stated then, we have to cease and desist because our time is up. Okay, so that letter was really just an information or notice, a notice to President Obama and everybody else that the Pope's time was up, that the United States Incorporated time was up. That was in 2014. He said, we have to stand down. He said, all presidents are not presidents of America, they're presidents of a corporation. And he said that the corporation has been created or was created to control the people. He went on further to say what we've always known, that the United States Incorporated usurped authority from the Republic of the People and created themselves as a nonprofit religious organization in 1871. Pope Francis went on further to say, we have committed mass fraud, therefore we must stand down. All of us, he said, all presidents, all court officials, he said, attorneys and judges, all policy enforcers who enforce policy, statutes, and codes. They don't enforce the law. They've been lying to us. They must stand down. He went on further to say that it has been our policy as a corporation, which he said, I'm the head of, the Pope. That's why they are a nonprofit religious organization. It has been our policy to utilize and enslave African Americans as chattel property to pay off our debts. And then it was our policy to enslave everybody. Now, that was important that he said that because a lot of people think slavery ended during the Emancipation Proclamation, but the Emancipation Proclamation did not end slavery. It expanded slavery from individual ownership of slaves to the whole corporation owning slaves. Well, Pope Francis said, we got to stand down. If we don't, General Ham will be in charge of what's called the Grand Army of the Republic. And that Grand Army of the Republic will systematically dismantle the United States Incorporated, which is erroneously called a federal government. 10 years after that, that was in 2014. In 2024, the Supreme Court of the United States overturn the Chevron doctrine. The Chevron doctrine had given the United States Incorporated and all at that time 441 agencies. Now it's 445. Okay. The Chevron doctrine had given the United States Incorporated and all 445 agencies unlimited power to do whatever they want, create whatever statutes, codes, policies that they wanted to. The Supreme Court of the United States overturned that doctrine and said that the United States Incorporated was unlawful, illegal, and treasonous. Therefore, they had to be dismantled. They said every judge that participated in the shenanigans of the government also had to be taken down because they committed treason. That's what the Supreme Court of the United States said. And they said any judge that knew of a judge that went along with this and did not report it to the president committed misprision of treason. What happened after 2024? President Trump came back. Of course, he never really left. He just allowed Biden to, or his fake Biden, to a masked avenger to pretend to take over. He allowed that to happen so that people can wake up and see all that was going on. Okay, so Biden and his administration had 4 years to create massive corruption. Then in 2025, Trump came back. That this is actually his third term. And what did he do as soon as he came back in 2025? He created the Sovereign Wealth Fund, which is a fund made up of gold, silver, palladium, platinum resources. What else? Rare earth minerals and tariffs from grants and all that, and tariff money from trade deals to fund humanitarian projects, to invest in us, to invest in the infrastructure, and to help the American people. He created the Sovereign Wealth Fund in 2025, and then he implemented 225 executive orders. He also brokered trillions of dollars of trade deals with the Middle East, and he brokered a massive trade deal with China, the second largest economy in the whole world, which meant that everything would change because now that he brokered trade deals with China, we're the largest economy. China's the second largest economy. Everybody else had to bow down and agree to trade deals. So he brokered all these trade deals. He issued out 225 executive orders. He created the Sovereign Wealth Fund, which is the fund that will fund all of us through Nasara and Jassara, and it will create humanitarian projects, et cetera, et cetera. Well, then he shut down the government in 2025. And the reason he did that is to go ahead and execute everything he did under his executive orders and to clean up the government. He created what we know of as the Department of Government Efficiency with Elon Musk at the head of it to go ahead and investigate USAID and all these other government agencies. So the Department of Government Efficiency immediately started letting people go, firing them and retiring them early. Remember, Donald Trump had that program when I think it was about in the 90s. I can't remember the name of The Apprentice, where he said, "You're fired," seeding into our consciousness that he would be the one doing the massive cleanup. He then, when he came in 2025, laid off or fired or gave early retirement to 300,000 government workers. He met with the military as well, and he put the National Guard in major cities and started cleaning up major cities so that gangs were arrested, drug cartel were arrested, and all type of criminals that had been terrorizing the people. Now people were saying they feel safe in their neighborhoods. So that government shutdown was just something, it was just an excuse to clean up the government. It is also an excuse to completely get rid of this about $3.9 trillion of debt that we have, okay? And that what that just means is that he's doing a financial cleanup as well. So we were under a massive or major government shutdown, the longest running government shutdown. They opened it up in November, December, so people can do their Christmas shopping and their Thanksgiving celebrations. And then in December, when January, I think they opened it back up, or was right after Christmas. And now we're under a partial government shutdown. So a lot of people don't know that this partial government shutdown is really just an expansion of the government shutdown that happened in 2025. Okay. This government shutdown is massive because what's happening is that they're letting you know the government no longer exists. It's over. The deep state is over. So now what we see happening is all type of FBI raids. If you want to see proof of those raids, I'll show it to you. But I want you to get to hear Chief because he wants to encourage you. There are FBI raids and home health care agencies where nurses are being arrested. There are FBI raids in judges' chambers, FBI and DEA raids of Social Security Administration directors' offices where $2.2 billion were stolen. FBI and DEA raids of Michigan port directors' offices where they confiscated $1.9 million in cash and 3.8 tons of drugs. There are FBI and DEA raids of bank directors' offices where they confiscated $1.2 billion of money that was stolen from veterans. There are all type of raids going down and crackdowns going on. ICE, has also been arresting immigrants at the courthouses. Why? Because immigrants typically were brought in, first of all, so that both sides initially could increase their voters, right? But the Republicans haven't been doing it most recently. Most recently, the Democrats have been bringing in lots of people. I mean, hundreds of thousands of immigrants from all over the world so that they can boost their numbers so that more people can vote, which is illegal and unlawful, but they did it anyway. So you would have immigrants that would go to the courthouse and just have judges to allow them to seek asylum, sign off on asylum papers. You would have immigrants say, I'm afraid to go home. I can get raped. I can get gang stalked. I can get beaten or made or unalive. And without any proof, judges would just sign off on it. So now President Trump is cracking down on all of that, and he's raiding courts. And he's sending ICE to courthouses where they're arresting immigrants. It's mainly those that have committed crimes and those that have overstayed their visas. Judges are also now letting us know that they're getting fired and arrested. And who's next? Police officers. So I can bring that up for you quickly. Chief is in the house. I'm going to bring it up, but let me bring Chief Mac in the house to welcome you all. Hi, Chief Mac.
Hey, Kim. How you guys doing? So, let me connect this phone up real quick.
Okay. Hey, Chief.
I heard you giving the intel, and I hold 1 second.
Yes.
Can you guys see me?
We can see you, Chief. I was going to bring up some articles, but I want to know if you want to speak first. They saying show it. Okay, but I want Chief. Uh-oh. Yeah. You guys are saying, yes, people are getting locked up. Chief's in the house. We hear you, but we don't see you. There you go.
Right. Okay.
So do you mind if I show it, or you want to say something first?
No. Go ahead and show what you're showing. Go ahead.
Okay.
Get that out the way.
Let me try to make this quick. You want to stay up, or you want me to put you in the back? You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. First, let me just briefly show you all FBI raids on home health care. This video breaks down a massive $218 million Medicare fraud scheme in Texas with 18 nurses indicted. And I'm just going to show you the first 1 minute. Oh, sorry, y'all can't see that. I'm sorry, I thought you all could see that. My bad. Let me bring it up. Welcome, family. Chief Max in the house with us. We're showing how these people only have to July 4th, where we're supposed to have a big celebration of the 250th anniversary of the United States of America. They only have to then to get everything cleaned up. So that's why FBI raids are in full effect. Check this out.
healthcare fraud enforcement in the country's history. The feds say more than 600 people have been charged with more than $2 billion in false billing.
A pre-dawn federal raid in Texas captures 18 medical workers and dismantles a $218 million home health empire. The official press release celebrates a massive victory against Medicare fraud.
Okay, I'll just leave that there. I just want you to see that is massive Medicare fraud that has been detected. So the FBI raided this facility. I don't want to keep you on too long, so I'm not going to, go into the details, but I did put the link in the chat, and it will also be in the description section. So that was an FBI raid of home health care agencies where $218 million of Medicare fraud was discovered. And if you go on in that video, it shows you that 18 nurses were actually arrested for participating in the fraud. Next, let me bring this up to you. The FBI, let me see. FBI continues raids. Hold on. Okay. FBI raids judges' chambers. 50 cops and a judge were shielding drug rings. So in Minnesota, there were many drug rings that were terrorizing certain communities. And they were saying one of the communities where it was a massive drug ring was actually in the Somali community. And they said mothers were calling cops and begging them to help, but they wouldn't help. And so this is what they discovered.
Yeah, we don't hear anything.
Oh, you don't hear it?
Okay, no.
Oh, sorry about that. Let me get back. So I could hear it, but you couldn't. Okay, sorry about that. Here we go. Thank you for letting me know, Chief. Where are we? So this is where FBI raids judges' chambers. A judge and 50 cops were arrested. Tell me if you can hear this, Chief.
We're going to start with FBI agents busy
Yes.
this morning.
Okay.
Arresting nearly a dozen Bay Area officers for crimes ranging from violating suspect civil rights to obstruction of justice.
Provide the safest country the nation has ever seen under President Trump's leadership here. And that's what we did here today with great resolve on a case of massive public.
November 8, 2024, Cedar Riverside neighborhood, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Amina Hassan watched from her apartment window as drug dealers operated openly on the corner below, the same corner where her teen son walked to school every morning. She'd called Minneapolis police 17 times over 6 months. Officers would arrive, see the dealers, and drive away without making arrests.
So they're just talking about how they would see dealers in broad daylight dealing drugs and nobody would make an arrest. So after some time, the FBI raided this area where they arrested cops. So I just want you all to see that. I put the link in the chat. I don't want to go into too much detail because I don't want to keep you up too late, but that is in the chat. Next, I want to show you briefly, Chief, isn't that something how they can see drug deals go down and police officers would just go by like nothing ever happened? Chief probably can't hear me. So
listen, they've been doing that stuff like, man. I mean, I can tell the truth so raw that it would offend people. That's why I've been happy going like, because if I tell the truth how it is, folks will be offended, But the same government that put the damn dope on the streets, and use the police is supposed to be peace officers. They switched that to like that. They're gangsters for this corporation to make sure that the people who are true owners of this land, to make sure they keep their foot on our necks, mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, and financially, because they know who we are.
Yeah, they were created. The police were actually created at first to catch slaves. Go ahead.
The police was initially supposed to be there to protect and serve, but they're not protecting and serving the true people of the land.
Oh, I see.
They're surveilling us and harming us.
Yes, sir.
And the time is over because they know this beast system know that once the sleeping giants and those dry bones start waking up, it's really over.
Yes,
Because
sir.
we are those savior and salvation that was sent here. There is no saving. The more you guys keep on researching and studying and listening to, and taking heed to what I'm saying, you're going to realize that there would never, ever be a savior to come save a serial killer, a child molester that raped 10 innocent girls. And you think that that man, that person, that beast can be forgiven for his sins and make it to heaven? You think a man that can kill 30 people, all he got to do is ask for forgiveness and his sins are wiped away just like that? Do you think it's that easy?
No, sir.
No. No,
Okay.
no, sorry, Bob. You're gonna have to pay for that in the next life form.
Right.
So your religion lied to you. You don't get away with nothing.
No, sir.
And the people that think they can, you're an idiot. And this is why I carry myself in such a fashion, because I know that every move, everything I do, good or bad, is being jotted down and recorded. And so you have an opportunity to build up points. It's a point system.
That's right, Chief. Let me go ahead and I'm gonna go on just a little bit longer then so you can come on and talk to him, okay? Talk to the
Go ahead.
family. Next, we're talking about how the FBI and the DEA raided Social Security Administrator's Director's Office, where they discovered $2.2 billion was stolen, and they discovered 1,000 fake records. Here, I was just going, there was a video attached to that. It'll be in the description section, but I'll just show you just a brief article. If I can get this ad off. They show ads here. Let me just go down here. This where it says, what happened? At exactly 5:51 a.m., the operation began. A coordinated task force comprised of 21 investigators from state audit agencies, federal inspectors, and special agents moved in wearing jackets and body arrests. And it goes on to talk about what they did. Here's the scale of the loss. According to state estimates and audit reviews conducted in late 2025, that was last year, Washington had lost more than $2.2 billion in Social Security funds, quietly siphoned over time, money that should have never left the hands of vulnerable American citizens. That amount alone could have funded retirement benefits for more than 180,000 American people for an entire year. Investigators now believe the network had been diverting between $18 million and $24 million every single month, silently, continuously, without triggering a single internal alert. I'm sure they knew this was going on, but now they're doing crackdowns. So I'm going to get out of that there. I just want to show you all that the FBI, they are now doing more work. They're doing massive raids. Next, I'm going to show you how the FBI and DEA raided a Michigan port director's office, and he was fired first and then arrested. $1.9 million in cash and 3.8 tons of drugs were seized. So let me bring that up for you right quick. And my point is to show you all that they're doing a massive cleanup, because they have to clean up all of this mess before they turn over the republic back to we the people, where we'll be back in control. The chiefs on the land will be back in control, but they can't just turn it over to us any type of way, because according to the Galactic Federation and the army and the military and all these people that's doing the takedown, everything has to be there. They have to do a reset button, push that reset button. everything has to be returned back to the way it was. Now, it won't be fully cleaned up, but they're doing a massive cleanup.
You can't hear you,
So
Kier.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
go ahead. Now we can.
Okay, Trump said we're going to kill people that's bringing drugs into our country. He ain't playing.
Can't hear you, Kier.
You can't hear it? Okay, let me
Now we
try.
hear you. Yeah,
You can hear me.
We can hear you, but we can't hear what you're trying to play.
Okay. Well, I'll just show. Let me take it out of there, and I could just show something. Let me see what that was. I was trying to play. Oh, let me get out of here. So Trump he actually said we're going to start unaliving people that bring in drugs in this country. So let me see where it is. I only have a few more to go. Hold on. Let me see.
Drugs,
Okay.
300,000.
Hold on, I want you to hear this.
Drugs, 300,000. Fentanyl and other drugs.
I think we're just going to kill people that are bringing drugs into our country.
It is 4:11 a.m., and the shoreline of Traverse City, Michigan is quiet under the cold morning air. Boats sit still on the water, the streets empty, the harbor calm. Then everything shifts. A convoy of FBI, DHS, and DEA vehicles rolls in with engines low, lights off, moving like a shadow along the docks.
So I'm not going to play that full video, but what they're talking about is how an explosive FBI raid sent a shockwave through Michigan after federal agents stormed the port director's office in a sweeping corruption and narcotics crackdown. So they were, bringing in drugs, fentanyl and other drugs at the ports, particularly in this case in Michigan. What began as a quiet investigation escalated into one of the largest port-related drugs in recent years. In this operation, the FBI and DEA uncovered $1.9 million in cash and 3.8 tons of illegal drugs, exposing a sophisticated trafficking pipeline operating from inside a critical U.S. port facility. The FBI raid revealed how trusted positions were allegedly exploited to move massive quantities of narcotics under the cover of legitimate trade. That's what you said, Chief. They're the ones who brought the drugs in right at the port, at the ports. And, making it seem like there was somebody else doing this, but all along the government they were the ones doing it.
The war on drugs was a war on the indigenous people.
Come on. Now I want to show how the FBI and DEA raided a bank director's office. 1.2 billion United States veteran savings were stolen from our veterans. And this is why a lot of people are angry, because they said you had so many immigrants that were allowed to come here who were given money when the veterans don't have any money. The veterans were, let me get this off of here. The veterans were mistreated. The veterans were scammed out of a lot of their money. The veterans are homeless and sick and, don't have any benefits that for themselves or their families. Let me see. Can you see this, Chief?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay. So the FBI and DEA raided a bank's. This is the bank. Them raiding the banks, and it looked like this. Did that happen in Kentucky? Wow. Here we go.
The veterans benefit side of the VA pays out $95 billion a year. But our investigation has found widespread mismanagement of those claims, resulting in veterans being denied the benefits that they've earned, with many veterans dying before the VA gets around to answering the claim. Veterans dying before they get their money.
5:41 a.m.
And it goes on to talk about the massive arrests. They get all dramatic, telling you exactly how it happened. But again, I'm going to put this in the chat for you. And I will also make sure I put it in the description section. Okay, now I'm going to show you what's this. Oh, Trump is cracking down on immigration because many people were brought in here to boost their numbers. People were allowed, unfortunately, to vote, even though they weren't Americans. Some of them were undocumented. Some of them were given citizenship status, but nonetheless, they should have never been allowed to vote. So here we see, ICE has been at the courts arresting immigrants who are seeking asylum or going to courts. In fact, there was a judge that was arrested last year, I think it was, because she was hiding out immigrants in her office. I'll let you all look that one up. These judges have colluded against the American people because they work for the British accredited registry. Judges and attorneys, unfortunately, pass the bar exam, the British accredited registry, meaning they don't work for we the people. They work, in fact, for the British Crown. So let me show you this here. I hope you all can see that. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. Sorry, Chief, I had the wrong video up that I brought up. ICE has been arresting immigrants. Let me see what this is. I see you all in the chat. Let us know what you think about this so far. We'll bring up your comments in a minute. Here, I'm going to show that Trump fired more than 100 immigration judges and is now hiring deportation judges. For the people that are saying nothing's happening to the judges, they can escape the law, this might be because you haven't seen the reports. You could even Google our judges being arrested, and you will see that some judges are in fact being arrested. But here are some judges that are being fired. Right here. Can you see this, Chief?
Yeah, I see it. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Since returning to office, President Trump has made sweeping changes to the legal immigration system, including speeding up deportations and tamping down on asylum seekers.
The Justice Department has also fired more than 100 sitting immigration judges and is now advertising to hire so-called deportation judges in their place.
So he's fired 100, and now he's going to hire deportation judges. So here is a judge right here that got fired. I want to show, he's going to tell you how he got fired in a minute. Let me see if I can skip to this. You saw. So he was saying that they used to see lots of cases of immigrants who would come to court and ask for asylum. So what people would do, the immigrants would come over here legally or not. Some of them smuggle legally or illegally. And some of them on visas, like humanitarian visas. You had Cubans, Haitians, Nicaraguans, and Venezuelans that came here on a humanitarian visa that was only supposed to be a work visa for 2 years. After the 2 years was up, they would then seek asylum, going to the judges' chambers, asking for asylum. I've seen some of the asylum papers. All they would have to do is write their name, why they thought they would, couldn't go back home, and then they would be granted more times than not asylum. Asylum means they could come here and say, they were refugees, or they were too scared to go back home, so they needed to come stay in America to be safe. It wasn't just those that were here on a humanitarian visa. People have been doing this for decades, coming here on a temporary visa or on temporary protective status, like Somalians, they're on temporary protective status, but from all over the world. Under the Biden administration, over 300,000 immigrants were flown in. We don't even know how many came by train, came by foot, came from underground. We don't even know how many. We know over 300,000 under the Biden administration came. They would come legally or illegally, on visa or not. And then after that time was up, they would just seek asylum, and the judges would grant it to them. Trump said no more. But this judge is saying it's not fair that Trump is firing us. He said we would see the cases and we would make our judgment. And he said, now when Trump came in, we had to speed it up because we knew he was going to crack down on us. He said, but One day I just came in and I realized I didn't have a job. Let me show you what he said, how he said he got fired. 1 minute. Because I don't want to play too much of this. Trying to get to 156.
July of the past year, I was hearing 3 individual cases a day. That included testimony, reading through evidence submitted, and making a decision. In July, I was 3 additional detained docket cases were added to my docket, so I was hearing 6 cases a day.
So he's going to talk. He's talking more about how his cases. I'll let you listen to that on your own time, but I want you to see how he got fired.
You got it right.
How were you fired, and were you given any reason?
I was given no reason. It was an afternoon. I had heard my afternoon case on the bench, and I learned that other judges in San Francisco had been fired. I then went to my chambers and logged on and saw an email with the subject line termination. And before I could even print that letter, I was shut out of the computer and escorted out of the building.
President Trump has tried to block all asylum seekers from applying at the border. He's been blocked several times by the courts. But do you think he's ultimately going to succeed? And what would be the implications if he were to succeed?
Well, I don't know if he will ultimately succeed, but the law does allow for people who are in the United States to apply for asylum in the United States.
So yeah, legally they were allowed to apply for asylum, and he goes on to talk about how they say they were afraid they would get raped, or they just couldn't go back home, and just by virtue of saying that, they were allowed to stay in America. Even if there was no proof. But the point is, according to President Trump, many of them came over here illegally. And even if you came over here legally, when your time is up, your time is up. But they would just stay. Some of them would go to the judges and get signed off, or they would just stay, under the radar, or not stay under the radar, because as we know, a lot of people are still here undocumented. They didn't speak the language. They could still work. They would get government benefits. There's a whole thing called Ferraris and food stamps, because a lot of the people that were here that are rich, they flew over here, would be driving Ferraris and sports cars and still getting food stamps. Chief knows about them getting food stamps. Driving the best cars, getting food stamps, getting welfare checks, getting loans to buy houses. Didn't have to have a credit score, none of that. They would just be allowed to stay here. I'm gonna show one last thing, and that is that in my strong opinion, is Chief gone? Chief, where you at? Here he is. In my strong opinion, this is my last thing to show, Chief. Police officers will be next because they participated in the fraud. They're not even sheriffs. They don't enforce the law. Chief said they were supposed to protect the indigenous people, but they do not enforce the law at all. That's why they're called policy enforcers. I hope y'all can see that. Can you see this, Chief? Hope you all can see this. So I'm having some problems with my computer. Can y'all see this, family?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, because I can't see you all. But anyway, I Googled, is the Trump administration firing police? Google says, as of April 2026, the Trump administration has not focused on firing local police, but rather records indicate a significant reduction in staff at top federal law enforcement agencies. So they're reducing staff in the FBI, DEA, and ATF, totaling over 4,000 positions, despite vows to crack down on crime. Concurrently, the administration has moved to control local police in Washington, D.C. as well. So they're making federal staff cuts in the Department of Justice as well as other places. So I just wanted to show you all that there are FBI raids going on all over the place. And unfortunately, for people who don't understand, while Trump is cracking down on immigrants, he had to, because a lot of them were allowed to come over here to vote, to take advantage of government benefits, and in some ways to replace the indigenous people, and to, pretty much gain access to our trust, as well as secure enough government benefits in order to satiate them, keep them quiet, and allow them to vote and remain here.
Yeah, they
Yes.
were brought here. They were
Go ahead.
brought here for. They were brought here for infiltration.
Okay, it's in your hands, Chief. What do you mean?
They were brought here for infiltration.
Okay.
Guys, you would be surprised at some of the things that these people who were brought here are doing in their home against the indigenous people. When you talk about sorcery and voodoo and so forth, they're using our spirituality and turning it back on us. They were brought here for infiltration on us.
Okay.
So when you bring a nation of people over here, and you equip them to open up a restaurant in our communities, and our people are eating from these people who don't have any love, care, or respect for you. You're eating food from these people. Then you eat this food and you wonder why you lose your mind. You're acting crazy because you're eating from people who do not care for you, because this beast system brought them here, equipped them to have a restaurant, gave them all the funds they need for infiltration in our communities. Just like you got these people that have these gas stations. Why is it that these people only have these gas stations in our community? But then you see these thugs, the so-called thugs, and young men in front of these gas stations selling dope. Because they get it from these people. Then you wonder why there are certain people giving monies to get these hotels, open up these hotel rings. But then you realize that these hotel rings are involved in snatching of people.
Wow.
So they are brought here for infiltration. So this is why I say, and this is no hate to any other race or nation of people, but for anybody that's so-called indigenous to this land, that's still acting like an imbecile and a fool and causing chaos in our communities, I ask the Great Spirit to remove you, because we have no time for that. You got some people that are so selfish and so wicked that they see people who have found the masterpiece in them, and all they can do is continue to lie on each other, talk about each other, and causing chaos on these platforms. I'm asking the Creator to remove you, because there's too much stuff going on behind the scenes. I'm laced with this understanding for overstanding about what they're doing in our community. This is the same reason why they have birth control centers in our communities. Why is that? Because they know that they're trying to stop us from being reincarnated back here. Why do they only have birth control centers or these, where they unalive unborn babies? Because those unborn babies are the babies that's being incarnated back in the system. So they're trying to keep that special one for being born back into the system. So I'm sorry, if you're in religion, you're in a lie. Incarnation and reincarnation is true. But they don't want us knowing that. So we are the ones that made it through. Out of all of the chaos that we have gone through, we are the ones that made it through to be what we have been mandated and be who we are today on these platforms right now. And when you have people that's trying to get in the way of an assignment that we were sent here to do, you may think you get away with it for now, but your days are numbered. Because what we're doing here and the conversation that we're having now is so powerful. We are shedding light, inspiration, encouragement, understanding, love, with all of the fruits of the Spirit. So to hear anything contrary to what we showed you through example in person, and to believe anything else that's said about me, you, or anybody else who's speaking the words of encouragement by high vibrational talk, you're foolish to believe that. when our action says contrary about what anybody else can say. It's too much going on. They're coming out with this so-called new pandemic.
Yes. Talk
And
about it.
I'm gonna tell you something. You know, I just found out yesterday that my sister's husband had 3 strokes.
Oh my God.
And guys, I'm gonna say, for all I know, he could have taken that Jim Jones juice.
Mm.
And when they came out with the first pandemic, and they kept everybody in the houses, because I'm so tapped into what I see. By the time I was working a job that was requiring 12 to 15 hours a day, I was making good money, but I didn't have no time to really do anything, you know, and that's not a good thing. I don't care how much money you make it. It's not a good thing, but all your time is taken from you like that. But
Right.
when I actually got a chance to go out and drive around, I saw that all of these towers were sticking up out of nowhere.
Mm.
And I did a video back in 2020 that went viral. I said, they're trying to unalive us, guys.
Mm.
When I saw those towers, I knew that it was war. So right now that they have those towers up, and there were people saying, oh, that ain't nothing. They tried to convince us that it was like, you know, better phone reception and so on. That's
Yeah.
BS, man. BS. Your phone's still acting a fool right now. You know, but they put those up, and that's spying, and those towers can send out a certain type of technology for the people who's actually taking in that Jim Jones juice. You have nano and small entities inside you that have a behavior,
Mm.
and they can send out a signal, and these things can travel to whatever organ that's weak. And I'm saying right now, when I go up and down my Facebook, I'm seeing people saying, "Oh my God, I can't believe this happened." People are losing it. People are being unalive, guys. So I'm just saying here, guys, what is your best way for those of you who have taken in that shot? I would say that try to eat the most food with the most life in it. I would say that. Try to put away from sugars. Try to eat food with a lot of life, vegetables, fruits. Try to stay away from dead foods that you put in your body. And speak and touch your body and speak life over your body. Don't
Absolutely.
allow yourself to take in any negative conversation and rhetoric from lower vibrational people on any platform. Listen to people that's going to feed you love, life, encourage you. This is your best bet that you can do, because we thought that this RV was supposed to be a cakewalk, and now we're seeing they're trying to bleed us out.
Oh, Chief, I was trying to put something up, and it said they won't allow me to put it up. But you were talking about this new variant, and I won't say the word virus, but this new variant, according to what I see, you just mentioned it, so I thought I would look it up. It's spelled CICADA. It's spreading in 31 states currently.
But see, do the numerology on that word.
Okay.
And guys, didn't they say, brothers and sisters, that in 2020s, what year is it?
It's 2026 right now.
Did they say 6 years from 2020? Did they say that?
Oh my God, yes.
Did they say, brothers and sisters, in 2020, the world is a stage ran by cold-blooded entities in skin suit? And you got to be out your damn mind to still be at odds with each other when we have an entity managing themselves up as us that has a perpetual hatred toward us and our unborn children. For anybody that's still giving life to anybody speaking ill will on my name, Dr. Kid name, or anybody else that's putting out this information, you're a part of the problem, and you're just as guilty as them. This is life that Nick, Kiara, and I are giving you. This is life. This is life. So I'm trying to help you guys survive. They're saying in 2026, 6 years from 2020, and they're trying to come after the people who have put that poison in their bodies. So my thing is, we got to come together and love, honor, and respect, speak life of each other, prayer of each other, because this RV wasn't, they already knew that the RV was going to be presenting itself this year. They knew it already. But in 2020, we didn't know that was going to be an RV. I didn't know to get foreign currency. I didn't, get trust account. But they knew that in 2026, the RV is going to happen in 2026. This is why they're prepared to try to remove as many people as they can and bleed us out. Because they know that with that wealth comes power. With that wealth comes
they're
power.
trying to bleed us out.
Go ahead, Kim.
I'm saying you're right. They're trying to bleed us out. They're trying to unalive as many people as they are, and they're trying to bleed us out like financially with everything going up so high.
Everything going up so high right now. It's just guys, we got to know the hyperinflation. That's hyperinflation. Here in my hometown, NIPSCO is eating the people up. Eating the people up. People have to put that bill on the payment plan.
Oh, NIPSCO, what's that? NIPSCO is the electric company?
Yeah,
you told me. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It's railroading the people. So I was talking to my brother. I said, all that is NIPSCO just jumped the gun on hyperinflation. That's all they're doing. They're not going to go down. They just jumped the gun on hyperinflation. That's like the gas prices going up right now. Don't expect the gas prices to go down. Many of us Gen X children, I can recall when gas prices was 79 cents for a gallon of gas.
I remember the same.
Here it is right now. I'm sitting at the gas station right now because I was about to head. I pulled over to look at the gas prices. See, gas prices, almost $6 for diesel, $4.79 for regular unleaded. So it's not going down. So they get ready to raise the prices. The price of minimum wage may go up to $30, but it's going to balance out because a house that you got for $250,000, it's going to be worth close to $1 million for that same old house. So this is what's happening. So they want to allow that to happen first and bleed us out before they kick in the SARA. When they kick in. The people who get the foreign currency will be able to be that savior and salvation to humanity. We will be able to do that. So is that really, really dependent on us?
Before you go into that, Chief, you were talking about electric costs in your hometown, Gary, being so high. I've just pulled up this article because I've heard people say that electric costs are rivaling their mortgages. Here, this article by U.S. News says Trump promised to cut electric costs in half. Billions in energy-rich West Virginia now top mortgage. Bills in West Virginia now top mortgages. So people in West Virginia, just one state I pulled up, people all over the country this is crazy to me. How can your electric bill top your mortgage bill? But go ahead, Chief.
This is,
you were talking about
this is a way for them to try to get people out their homes and try to scrape up any last money that they can rob from the people. This is deployed to be able to do that. You got your people paying more in their electric bill than their mortgage.
That's wild.
It's sickening. It's sickening. That's what I'm saying. We got it. And the people, listen, the people who are lower vibrational, you ain't got long. If you still work at the job and still live in an apartment or a house and you're causing chaos, you won't have that hedge of protection to cover you. Because this world has changed spiritually. All that hate and being lower vibration and bitter, and if you think you can keep on doing it and think you can get away with it right now, and there are people being put in positions in situations that never thought that day would come, but it came like a thief tonight. This is why I said to be authentic, be accountable for your action, and operate with authenticity and gratitude. Because that's right, there's a winning hand, so that when the opposition and chaos comes in your life, that you have done enough good that the ancestors say, put a hedge of protection around them. You don't have a hedge of protection around you when you keep enough chaos and evil. You don't. You keep on living this life, and each day it brings you closer and closer to the day that's going to take you up out of here. What do you have that's going to protect that day from happening, to give you longevity? Did you have that insurance policy of righteousness over your life? So if a gun is put to you, that it won't prosper, that when sickness hits you, to take you out, it won't prosper. I'm telling you guys, I've been saying it since I've been to clean your shit up, clean it up, because it ain't supposed to be. There are people who got foreign currency that won't be able to get a chance to revalue it. I'm telling you, if you don't clean your shit up, all that currency going to be, it's a decoration. It's all going to be like a postcard. You cannot operate with hell and think you're going to live a life of abundance. It's not going to happen. That's why I'm solid. I'm solid in my faith. I'm solid, and I'm glad. I'm pleased with the man who I am today. The conversation that I get with people, the amount of people that I'm helping worldwide. I'm talking. I just talked to an Asian guy yesterday. An Asian guy. He said, "Chief, man, you're doing." If I could record the conversation, how people say they appreciate me and how they respect me, how they appreciate what me and Dr. Phil are doing, and the task that you're bringing on, you're doing something powerful, Kia. I'm doing something powerful. So nothing shadow on my name, but any of your name, it ain't prospering. I still look good. You ain't stopping me. You just a peanut in comparison to what's the source that's within us. So, guys, prepare yourself. It's not supposed to be easy at all. It's not supposed to be easy. Continue to, speak life over your family, man. Speak life over your family. If you have taken in that Jim Jones juice, guys, eat its muscle, fruit and food, but life in it, guys. Because I want you to prosper. I want you to make it through. Because they're trying to bleed us out, man. I'm looking at things right now. Gas prices are up. These fake fires in Georgia and Florida, earthquakes, tornadoes happening, man. It's that chaos. They're creating this stuff, man. And then your religions are not preparing you mentally, spiritually, emotionally. You don't have faith. Your religion, they're not doing it. They're not giving you guys. This is church right here. This is the most and the best church you'll ever get right here. Right here. Not from Reverend Flim Flam, Pastor Sneak at Sweetwater Baptist Church with Sweet Cheeks and Bubbles. You're not going to get any light-saving tips there. You're going to get the same old rhetoric, same old stuff. They're not teaching you about faith, because if you guys had any faith, you wouldn't have rolled your sleeves up in fear in 2026, because your damn church was in fear. Your damn pastors were agents for this beast system. And if everybody that ran to that damn church and rolled your sleeves up, your Reverend Pork Chop got paid.
Chief, you were talking about fires. I just did a report the other night. I was on like around midnight to like 3 a.m. talking about the fires, because I could, and here's the video right here. If you go to my live section of video, I said Florida burning. Late night news, Florida is burning. What are they doing? Are they destroying evidence? I don't know if it's the black hats destroying evidence, or it could be the white hats, getting rid of poisonous foods, poisonous crops. But when you look it up, the news will say that, Florida is burning because there's a drought here and the weather is dry. And I'm like, everybody and their mama knows Florida is always raining. It's not dry. It's in fact, it rained today. It rained a few days ago. It's very rainy. We have on and off rain all the time. Then other articles would say, well, there's a neighboring county called Lafayette County where there's wildfires burning. But then I discovered that over across America, tens of thousands of wildfires have affected almost 2 million acres of land this since January of May this year. Something's going on, Chief. I don't know what they're doing, but you can smell the smoke here in Jacksonville, Florida. And at nighttime, it gets very thick. It covers the sky, and if you're outside, it affects your eyes and your lungs. So I don't know what's going on, but I just want to say
we know what's going on. We talk about DEW. DEW stands for direct energy weaponry. And the drier it is means that that's a really good environment for fires to start. The drier it is, you can just throw a match down. The drier it is, that's a good recipe for fires to bloom. And so, the world's the stage. They're behind it all and trying to cause chaos. Because when you call chaos, it brings people in fear. And when people are pushed in fear, they cannot move forward. They're frozen.
Ninhersack says Lafayette County is where a lot of unalivings and hangings were done. And then other people are saying there are data centers that are being built. I don't know what that means. I heard people keep saying something about data centers that they're being built. Are you saying they're burning down the land in order to build up data centers, or are they destroying data centers? I don't know what they're saying. But okay, Chief, I apologize.
You good. So I'm just saying, we just got a man. When about 9 years ago, when I realized what type of world that I was in, it blew me. I had to catch myself, and I cried and asked the Great Spirit, "Why did you send me here?" Guys, I promise you, I sat there on the edge of my bed, it hit me like a ton of brick that wasn't no hell I was going to, because I was in it already. I said, "Why did you send me here?" I cried and I asked the Great Spirit, "Why did you send me here?" And my question got answered. About 2017, I was being dealt with. That's when the spiritual awakening was at its highest in me. The Great Spirit, I was shown the life that I had lived before this one, and I was a warrior leading the army. And I saw these entities that I was fighting, and I wasn't even in this body. We have lived many other lives, guys, and we didn't have these type of bodies. This is just a different shell. Don't you know those giants that walk the earth, those titans that walk the earth, that like a mile and a half, 2 miles tall? They were us, many of us. All that giant has lost that form. And you came down here in a different form, a lower form, and a lower body is what we're in right now. We've been here in many different forms, guys. Now this beast system don't want us graduating to turn into another form that they cannot contend with. And this is what they're trying to stop them happening. Why do you think they're showing all these movies? With a movie that came out, a television cable series that came out 2 years ago called Supercell. And in Supercell, they showed black folks and that had these superpowers that were behind, that these people were putting in these supercells to keep them from gaining it more power, utilizing their power. And I'm gonna tell you something that blew my mind away when I was watching that movie.
Okay.
When I saw what I saw, I had to. It spooked me. When like the third episode or something, they had 4 names on the sheet of paper, and the last name on that paper was my name. With people coming out with superpowers, my name was the 4th name on that paper, and it blew me away. It spooked me. But these people, they know what they're doing. There are certain people in human form, you think that you're just human, your family that you're just regular people, but you're not regular. And this is why you have a lot of hate, envy, malice, and jealousy geared towards you. It's because of the anointing over your life, the favor on your life. And you have people who are empty that see that favor and anointing on your life, but don't know the hell you went through to shine and look good and to make it look easy, but it's not like that. We're not just regular people, kid. You're not just regular people. The regular people don't do what me and you're doing. Regular people are not smart. Like most of the people we have here are not average as regular people. Most of the people on in these comments have gone through what we have gone through. That's why they're here with us, because they not only can sympathize, they can empathize with what we've been through. So
And
most of
that's
the
what
people
they're
here,
saying. There are even
yeah,
some people have said in the comments, people think they're crazy or they try to wake people up and people won't listen. So yeah, they're co-signing what you're saying.
yeah, and I've had family members and people that are close to me thought that I was going to be the one to lead and transition first because I don't believe in religion. I don't believe in this so-called savior.
Mm.
Because I don't believe in savior, I got ostracized, I got talked about, I got ridiculed, I got persecuted. But right now, moving over to this new realm, I'm shining. I'm shining, and they ain't seen nothing yet. I'm
Right.
moving in authority. I'm moving with intention. I'm moving with overstanding because of the sweat equity. And many of you, you're moving with intentions. You're moving with honor. And no weapon formed against you, it didn't prosper. No lie told on you ain't gonna prosper. No matter what people think about you, don't mean two right asses. Keep on moving with intention. Keep on moving with overstanding. Keep on moving like the goddess, the emperor, and the empress that you are. Because your inheritance, my inheritance, here, your inheritance is going to be sweeter than honey when it happens. When it happens, they're trying to bleed us out, but we got each other to hold on to encourage, to build, to lift, to inspire, to motivate each other. And it's just keep on inspiring each other and moving with intention, moving with authenticity, moving with accountability, moving with gratitude, because that is a winning hand, because I'm moving that way and I have an overflow that's happening. And it brings tears to my eyes is because I know emphatically that I am divinely guided, protected, emphatically, because every time I need an overflow comes every single time. And what I'm doing, guys, and many of you are doing, we're helping people. I help so many people. I'm mentally, spiritually, emotionally, financially. I'm helping so many people. And when you help out people like that, guys, good comes to you. Good comes to you. And if you're out there at this late hour, being just opposite of that, being wicked, have causing chaos, don't have good things to say like that, you're building up chaos for your own self. You're setting up snares for your own self. So I'm just pleading with you guys that if you still operate that way, that if you're still alive today, the simple fact that you working out your own salvation is your only chance out of not having your ass handed to you. You have to work out your own salvation. If you have wronged somebody, done some evil things, you have the ability to drop your knees and ask for forgiveness to the celestial family for having evil eyes towards your brother and sister. And if somebody did something to you, and you have people, if somebody did something to me evil, I don't go on these platforms and say wicked and evil things about people. I'm not that kind of person. But
No.
I have the right to. You have the right to defend yourself, people. but I won't get on the platform and just make up lies about a person.
I'm glad you said you have a right to defend yourself because, I've had people to say certain things, and I'm like, sometimes I want to respond because I'm like, I have a right to defend myself, but then other times I think, just be quiet. How do you encourage the people like in the chat, Chief, if they've been going through things like you and I have, where people say things about you that's not true, because they might think you cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. They might think you're crazy. They might not like you because you're spreading this type of information, that the world is changing. We're moving to a gold standard. We're all going to be wealthy. It's interesting to me, that people are mad that you're talking about people going to be wealthy, but how would you encourage people who are enduring that type of abuse? What are we
Listen,
supposed to do?
I am tailor made to talk about that with the amount of hate and the things spoken of my name. I am tailor made to answer that damn question.
Okay.
Because they are on here right now listening. They listening. And do it look like what you said about me is prospering? No, at all. All it's doing is going to intensify the prosperity, the anointing, the wealth, the love on our lives. So I'm here to tell you guys to keep on continuing to move with intentions. Because ain't no weapon formed against you going to prosper when you're righteous. Do it look like... Listen, I've got more followers. I'll be at over 150,000 followers before this month is out. Because I've reached the world, because the ancestors want me. They need a guy like me. People like us. They need it. Listen, this ain't nothing happening by chance. It's script. It's wrote out for me to be where I am, the prophet to where I am, just like you care, and just like the people here in the comments. You're going to be victorious this year. A lot of your family talked about you. A lot of you that were labeled black sheep. Now, the black sheep was the golden egg in the family. The black sheep, you were the winner in the family. You were the savior and salvation in your family. And you're getting ready to be wealthy beyond means. And that's going to be a new sheriff in town. People are trying to make you feel less because you didn't have an education, because you didn't believe in a savior, because you weren't prospering at these dead-end jobs that set for just over broke. It wasn't meant for you to prosper over there in 3D. It was meant for you to prosper over here in 5D. And people are not going to be able to handle your shine, your glow up. They're not going to be able to handle it, but guess what? We don't care. You're going to get this work. You're going to get it. And so just be encouraged with people speaking ill on your name, to still move with intention. Because at the end of the day, trust me, at the end of the day, all truth is brought to light. All what's sad in darkness will be brought to light. That's universal law. And if you think, if people are putting out information like that, if you think that you can continue to get away with lying on people, and I'm gonna tell you something, for anybody who giving lending ears to people doing that, you're just as guilty. Lying is just as worse as murder. Lying is on someone is just as worse as murder.
That's what the old people used to say. My grandmothers and all the elders, they would say, if you're a liar, you're a thief. If you're a thief, you're a murderer. If you're a murderer, they would go on and on. So they would be like, if you do one, then you are guilty of it all, or you are likely to do it, or you are capable of doing it. So they would say stuff like, I can't stand a liar because a liar is a thief and a thief is a murderer. I'd be like, oh my God. They didn't play back in the day.
Because a lot of time a liar would sometimes would try to defend his lie through a murder.
Oh.
You hear me?
Yeah.
A liar is a dangerous person because some of them would try to defend that lie with murder. Here in my hometown, this beautiful young sister was murdered. Murdered. It's been 8, 9 months ago. And it was a month after she filed for the divorce from her husband. She was murdered at home with a bullet wound to the neck. Typically, when stuff like that happens, they look at the spouse.
Yeah.
But somehow this spouse is still out free today. And, you know, a lot of people saying that they think he did it. But he's been protected because he works in politics. So I'll leave it alone.
Okay. Yeah.
I tell you, you don't get away with nothing. You do not get away with nothing.
The creator and the ancestor sees everything. See everything.
You take people out of here through murder or lying, that means you're trying to stop the assignment. See, people allow you because they're hoping that they're trying to stop your shine. They think it's you shining and looking good, but no, it's an assignment on your life. So if anybody is lying to you like that, guy, stand strong. Keep on doing what you're doing because you're gonna shine. I've had the most hideous things said about me. You know, but I know it ain't true, and I ain't moving like it's true. And I said that, and I laughed, and all people would do is they keep on saying lying, lying, lying. They put themselves deeper and deeper into spiritual death and death, to the point they incriminate themselves. And so just keep on moving with intention, guys, because you know when they hit that switch, the people who are righteous will be able to move forward and cash in on your foreign currency. And the people who have been moving wicked, they won't be able to cash in on it.
No.
And if they cash in on it, I promise you they're not going to have it for long. That's a promise.
Thank you, Chief. Somebody got a question for you, and I'm not sure if I understand the question, but it says, why, who is that? Pamela asked, why are they not talking about that cereal off in Atlanta? What's cereal off? What are you saying? Something's going on in Atlanta? You know of anything going on in Atlanta right now?
I don't know of anything going on in Atlanta.
You have to be
right
more
now.
clear. We don't understand. Okay. You might have to ask again because we don't understand.
Yeah, that's a question again because we know that's a lot of listen, the United States corporation is dissolving. It's not going to happen overnight. Hell, Mr. T said that January 2026, the Nasara was supposed to take effect. Here it is, almost halfway. We practically halfway through the year.
Oh, serial killer. Sorry. Go ahead, Chief. And I'll bring it up in a minute.
And any so-called serial killer that they put on the media is one of their creations. Y'all remember when they, back in about 20 years ago, about 2002 or 3, when they said that it was this man that so-called had this young teenage boy, and they were so-called shooting people and driving from state to state and shooting people and killing people at gas stations. Y'all who remember that story? And come to find out people were pushed. I was in fear. People were scared to go to the gas station and to travel. But come to find out, the whole story is made up. It was a psyop. Any serial killers are just crisis actors, guys. They want to push people in fear.
Yes.
Push people in fear. We should be moving with intentions anyway. We should be watching our surroundings. Don't be moving in fear. Well, I don't walk these streets and move around in fear. You know, if I have to put my hands on a man in a righteous way because of some shenanigans, I'm gonna hurt you. And I'm built to put pain in your ass. I'm built to put some pain on you. And I won't have no problem doing it in a righteous way to protect the righteous, to protect myself. I would crack ribs. I would break bones. I would tear your face apart if I have to. I'm built to put pain in your ass if I have to.
You are a protector. I know that's for sure.
Yeah.
I've seen you protect. You were doing a live, and there was a guy that was beating up this gentleman. I think the gentleman might have been transgender, and these people were just beating him up, and you saved him. Right
It looked
on
like
live.
it looked like a hermaphrodite.
Okay. Yeah.
But I don't know what this person was until I actually the person got close to the car and I saw this person. It was just I felt sorry for the person because this person was sent to this world cursed. I mean, as a hermaphrodite, it was a hermaphrodite. But just the mere fact that
people was just beating him up for no reason.
screaming and hollering like that, I couldn't take it. I couldn't stand it. This person was screaming. There was about 3 or 4 guys beating up on them like that, but I wouldn't have said that if I knew I couldn't control the situation. I wouldn't have put myself in danger like that. But I knew that at the sound of my voice. So people talk crap, and you say, listen, I don't run my mouth. I be out these streets, man. I'm just the same person. I've done what I have always done. I watch my surroundings. I mean, I've saved a lot of people from being hurt. I've saved, I've done these things. I'm out these streets, truly been a superhero. And none of that stuff didn't go. And let me tell you, the most of the people who got a lot of mouth on these platforms ain't half the man I am or anybody else are. Because people who are true gangsters don't run their mouth.
They don't talk.
They don't talk. They don't run their mouth on these social media platforms. We show you. And we'll meet up with you in person and we want to talk like men. And so a true person, an idiot and a coward can't face a true soldier. So what do the wicked do? The wicked flee with no pursuit. They will flee with no pursuit. The wicked can't stand face to face with a righteous man or woman. They flee.
They run.
They flee and they run.
I just want to say right quick, thank you so much to Naz Zuro, who sent us a $10 gift. I appreciate you. I'm very grateful for you. Yes, she's talking about colloidal gold. You said free Malachi York. Rahabat to the family. I'm not sure what Rahabat means. Maybe it means like shalom or happy Sabbath. I'm not sure, but thank you so much for the gift. We appreciate you. God bless you. And there are other people that have given gifts as well. So let me take the time to thank you, because while we were live, Sister Sharice sent me a gift. Sister Donna sent me a gift. And I'm not sure who SS is, but I want to thank you for the Cash App gift that you've given, because you all don't have to do that. Who else has given? Since we've been live, you all have been sending me Cash Apps, and I heard them go off, but I didn't want to interrupt the chief. Also, Sister Elizabeth gave a gift. Thank you so much. Latoya says good night. Thank you. Oh, Sister Elizabeth said, here's an offering until I get better paid. Oh, I appreciate what you gave me. Thank you. Ian says, this is for your wisdom and for inspiration. Thank you so much. Sister Latoya said, oh, she gave me another gift. She said, this is for yesterday with fire. I guess the presentation I gave, she said, was fire. And Watkins said, this is for you and Mel Carmine. Thank you. Sister Jamie said, this is money for your desire. Sister Shanna says, thank you for all you do. You're welcome. Devin said, this is for Soul Tribe wisdom that you give. Thank you. Sister Dinah says, thank you for the video with Chief Mac. You're welcome. And then Chief Mac also gave me a donation. And Arthur says, this is for a love donation. Brother Mill says, thank you. Shout out from Harlem, North NYC. Harlem, New York City. Scott says, thank you, Goddess. You all are so gracious. Thank you so much for sending me a gift, a love offering, and a donation to my Cash App. For those asking, is $MAMAKIA 13, $Mama Kia 13. Yes, Chief. You want to give some final words, Chief? We've been on for a while.
Yes, I want to say that, guys, I am so proud of the Soul Tribe.
Mm.
Thank you for the love, honor, and respect, guys. Thanks for keeping us lifted.
Yes.
That no weapon formed against me, that you guys were that saving and salvation to me and Dr. Kill. We always appreciate you guys. Keep on moving intentionally. Keep on operating with high vibration, with authenticity and accountability. Because people who are not operating that way, they were not going to win for much longer. But those of you who have got the trust from me, thank you. If you want to get the trust from me, you can email me at unityinmotion45@yahoo.com. Be prepared to make the constant $75 consultation fee. I promise you that the people who are ready to play ball, the people who are ready to move with intentions, high vibration, and authenticity, if you get on the phone with me, it is a pleasant, beautiful conversation. And people, so many people are really surprised when they're on the phone with me, the conversation we have on how to move, when this wealth happens, what to do. And a lot of people need to talk to me about open-ended questions on things that going on in their life. And we together collectively are able to make up an executive decision in their life at the last moment on what they need to do. And it's a beautiful time. We're learning information that we were never supposed to know.
Right.
I have information that we were never supposed to know about trust, operating in trust, operating in the private. We were never supposed to know these things, guys. And I got it in my head. I'm not a guru, but I have it in I've done things that a lot of people ain't done who act like they're gurus. But I'm proud. I thank the Great Spirit, our celestial family, for the divine protection over my life and you guys' life.
Sister Janine says, we are proud of you too. Sister Janine, the moderator.
Thank you, God. Yes. So every time it rains, the sun comes out. So the sun is on its way out, guys. It won't be gloomy and cloudy for too much longer. The sun is going to come out and shine on the children of the sun. And we're going to be the new leaders of this world, operating in trust, operating as the new wealth managers of this world to heal the nations.
Yes, sir.
I'll see you guys on the other side, guys.
Chief said he'll see you on the other side. So, Chief, okay, thank you, family. They're saying they're proud of us. You said if people want to contact you for a trust, they can contact you at unityinmotion45@yahoo.com. Before we close, for those people who don't know why a trust is important, can you briefly explain why they need a trust, what it means to operate in trust?
Well, listen, guys, if you have wealth, you want to make sure that if something was to happen to you, that the amount of wealth that's in that account goes to those that you love. The key probate court out of your affairs, because probate is always looking to pat their pockets. So your trust, you have your beneficiaries to receive any amount of wealth that's left in that trust, whatever percentage you write down next to those beneficiaries' name and that trust, they're going to get the remaining balance of that wealth. Also, the beneficiaries are also protected in that trust. You also are going to be the grantor and the trustee of that trust, and you have your successor trustees to carry out the wishes of that trust if anything was to happen to you. Plus, this particular trust is known as the 508c18 irrevocable trust, which is set up as a foundation in ministries. So what the rich have been doing, they have been getting everybody in that family that's within that family that's close. They have been giving them, establishing trust for them so that they can give wealth to each other. When you give to your brother or sister or wife or the children, when your one foundation give to another foundation, that keeps wealth to the family. Because when you give wealth to a family member, that wealth that you give them is not taxed. And then when you give it to them, it becomes a tax write-off to you. So this is what the rich and the wealthy have been doing. They haven't given wealth that much each other, keeping the wealth within the family, guys. So, you can get a trust for your family members. If you plan on giving them a donation, that donation is a tax write-off. And that donation that you give them is tax-free because they have a foundation themselves. Everybody should have a foundation when you're doing business as we do right now. Everybody should have a foundation, guys. So you want this foundation to trust, the 508C1A Irrevocable Trust, which is set up as a ministry and a foundation. I'm here for you. I've done it for a plethora of people. I've done Dr. Kids and a whole list of people. So if you reach out to me, email me, guys. And I also got other things I do too, as things on the private sector. When you set yourself in the private sector, the courts will have to handle you in a different capacity, guys.
That's
I know
true.
for sure.
There's somebody by the name of Queen V369 said I sent Chief a request for diplomatic passport information, and she said she would like to hear from you. I don't know. Do you do diplomatic passport information, Chief?
That's a service fee for that, for my time. I have the diplomatic passport, and I've said that those, to get your birth certificate authentication, so that you can get the highest passport, at least a three-star passport.
So Queen, she said she sent an email a few weeks ago. What's your name? Can you tell us the name that you used, or maybe just send Chief another email? Because I don't see your name here, the name that you use, so maybe he can look for it, or maybe you could just send him another email to unityinmotion45@yahoo.com. Thank you, Queen. Thank you so much. All right.
You got me. Real quick. When you send donations to me and Care, and you do business with me, it allows me to have the time to put work in for the Soul Tribe. So I wouldn't have to work a 9-to-5 job. I've been really utilizing my time to help the people. If I was out there and worked a 9-to-5 job, me and Care wouldn't be able to go live like we do and help the people. Because right now, I would be in bad sleep. She would be in bad sleep right now. So when you keep the donations, energy is transferable. When you push us forward with a love offering and a gift, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna pull you guys along with us.
Yes, sir. And thank you, Chief. Thank you so much for saying that. For those of you all who have joined maybe a little later, first of all, thank you. Thank you to all of you that are here. Thank you for those who joined earlier. Thank you for those who joined, in the middle of the podcast. And thank you for those who joined later. We showed videos where there are FBI raids because I said they only have to July the 4th, 2026, where they're supposed to have this huge celebration of the 250th birthday of the United States of America. They got up until then to clean up all this mess, clean up the government, to shut down everything, hit that reset button, and even start Nasara and Jasara and inject trillions of dollars into the global economy. At that time, by July 4th, they need to Trump and everybody needs to turn everything back over to the people on the land, namely the chiefs on the land. So what we talked about is how they are cleaning up the corruption. FBI raids have happened. For example, FBI raided home health care centers. And I showed a video where $218 million Medicare fraud scheme was broken up. In Texas, and 18 nurses fired. I also showed FBI raids of judges' chambers. 50 cops were arrested for shielding drug rings, and a judge. I show FBI and DEA raids of Social Security Administration director's office. Well, that director was fired because $2.2 billion of Social Security money was stolen from people who should have received those benefits. The FBI and DEA also raided Michigan Port Director's Office. where that director was arrested because they discovered, of course, they probably already knew, that there were drugs being brought in to the ports. So $1.9 million of cash was seized, 3.8 tons of drugs were seized. Then we showed a video where we discussed, yes, FBI and DEA raiding a bank director's office where $1.2 billion were taken away from veterans. The veteran savings were stolen. We also talked about President Trump cracking down on immigration because you have a lot of people here illegally. They've overstayed their visas, or they were given asylum. They sought asylum illegally, or they should not have gotten it. So Trump is now sending ICE not only to the airports to help arrest people that are trying to run away, whether that some of these immigrants are drug peddlers, some of them are just overstayed their visas, but most of them have done things, committed crimes, brought in drugs, trafficked people, done all types of things. They're trying to run. So ICE has also been at the courts arresting people. We also showed how Trump fired more than 100 immigration judges, and he's now hiring deportation judges and putting them in their place. And I also showed how a judge that had gotten fired, I think it was in California, is saying that he's in San Francisco. He logged on and found out through email he was fired. He was an immigration judge, and he was saying, it was not fair. And he also I didn't show another video of him talking about how, people are just afraid to go back home. These are people going back home to places that they go back home to vacation to, but they're saying they're too afraid to go back home to live. So this judge got fired by email, and he said so did a lot of his colleagues. And then we showed you information alluding to Trump cleaning up the police departments all across America, which is why if you Google it, you'll see police departments across America are actually closing, and police are being let go, whether they're being fired or given early retirement. And the ones that remain have to be retrained, and they will go over to the sheriff office, because the sheriff or the sheriff, the ones that we elect, not the ones that are appointed, because appointed officials often are corrupt, but the sheriffs that we elect, the constitutional sheriffs are the ones that actually enforce the law and not policy enforcers. So things are changing. I show videos, I show articles, and I put them in the description section, some of which I put in the chat, but all of them are actually in the description section. And then Chief let us know about a variant of the virus. We can't say the word, we'll get flagged. It's spreading rapidly throughout America, allegedly. So I looked it up, and the articles say 31 states are impacted. So Chief has said, as these things are vamping up and gas prices are going up, we all need to keep our vibrations high and our emotions in check. Finally, I just want to bring up something, because Chief said that what we see happening with the gas prices going up, electric bills going up, and in some cases, electric bills cost just as much or more than mortgages. Chief said that is a result of hyperinflation. So what I thought I would do is look it up, okay, and ask, because I know hyperinflation is an indication that the dollar has lost its value, but I want to hear what Google has to say about it. When I ask, is inflation an indication or indicator of a weak dollar? Google says yes, inflation can act as an indicator of a weak dollar, as rising domestic prices often reflect a decline in the currency's purchasing power and international value. Why is there a decline in the international value of the dollar? Because most countries have joined BRICS. In 2022, 85% of the global population had joined Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, that BRICS bloc, and dropping the dollar. They stopped trading with the United States dollar and started trading with their own currency. That fact that they've been trading with their own currency should let you know that they've backed up their currencies with gold. A global currency revaluation has already happened. It's just behind the scenes. So a weak dollar is an indication that the countries' purchasing power has been weakened, a decline in the purchasing power and international value. A weaker dollar makes imported goods more expensive. That includes oil and fuel, driving up consumer prices, while a high inflation environment can prompt investors to move away from the dollar, further weakening it. If people are moving away from the dollar, what are they going towards? Well, what's a hedge against inflation? Gold. Gold is a hedge against inflation. Silver is protection against inflation. Let me tell you, if you have $80 right now, $80 in cash USD, you can either hold that $80 in cash and save it, knowing that the value is weakening. There's a basic economic principle that as a dollar lose value, gold and silver increase in value, okay? But the dollar continues to lose value because they did a lot of money printing, and also because the countries aren't trading with the dollar anymore. Countries aren't trading with the dollar, and they're not buying U.S. Treasury bonds. So the dollar is losing its value. So you can hold on to that $80, you can or you can spend it, but that $80 is that $80 losing the value. Or you can buy silver, because what happens with silver and gold? Something that doesn't happen with the dollar. Silver and gold increase in value. It maintains its value. So silver right now is $81.13. Gold is $4,000.71. If you got silver right now, family, took that $80 and bought silver, by tomorrow, next week, or whatever, silver is going to go up, whereas the US dollar is going to decrease its value. So say you took $80, just and you bought 1 ounce of silver. Do you know that by next week, that $80 could be $130? It's going to go up, because behind the scenes, countries have revalued their currencies, and central banks across the globe have accumulated gold in record numbers since 2021, preparing for return to the gold standard. Additionally, 46 states in America have repealed the state sales taxes from the sales of precious metals. That means they got rid of precious taxes on precious metals. No more can they tax. States said 46 out of 50 said you can no longer tax silver and gold. They're doing that because they're reclaiming silver and gold as money. You cannot lawfully tax silver and gold according to our Constitution. So I just want you to know, family, that this is a perfect time. As the dollar is decreasing in value, we know that because we see hyperinflation, everything going up in value. Silver and gold, as the dollar decrease, will increase in value. You can go to your local coin company, or you can go to Miles Franklin Precious Metals Company, our affiliate. You can give them a call at 952-929-7006, or send an email to info@milesfranklin.com and let them know that Dr. Kia Pruitt referred you. And I'll make sure I put that in the description section for you. Why? Because we're moving to the gold standard. This is the United States this is my last thing I'll say. The Supreme Court of the United States overturned the Chevron doctrine, thus limiting the powers of the government in 2024. But the next month in July, the Supreme Court of the United States said that state-sponsored banks can operate independently from the Federal Reserve and issue out their own gold-backed currencies. Why would they say that if we're not moving back to gold and silver as money? This is why the United States Treasury Department approved Trump's plan just last month to phase out all paper dollars. And what they say that we're using in their stead, gold, and you can always put silver in there, gold and silver, and digital currencies. So this is it, family. We really are behind the scenes on the gold standard. Banks met globally to make sure that they were ready for foreign currency exchanges. And in those articles, they said all banks that remain, because most of them are shut down, many of them shut down, will be now considered wealth management centers, and they have to have gold and foreign currencies. Gold, and they spoke in codes with the second one. Tier 2 assets. Tier 2 assets are foreign reserve notes or foreign currencies, and banks have to have these in order to protect them against any foreseeable economic collapse. They also have to have gold and foreign currencies because now gold is money, and because now you'll be going to the banks to exchange your currencies. So this is a wonderful time to be alive. It might look like there's a chaos going on, and there is, but that's because they're doing a massive cleanup before they return everything back over to we the people and we restore our lawful republic. Yes, Chief.
It's like it's such a wonderful time to be alive when you're connected to the right people and source with them.
Yes,
I've been
sir.
saying that for the past 3.5, 4 years, and
You really have.
I've become more speaking and saying the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the just, that the meek shall inherit the earth, that we're going to be the first and not the last, the head and not the tail, the lenders are not the borrowers, and the creditors are not the debtors. And I've been looking at studying the wealthy people. I've been putting myself around wealthy people, and I manifested and caused my reality of what I think to come into fruition because of what I thought, because of putting myself around different people, different environments, because I dared to know who I was and act accordingly. And when I started doing that, I started having people to fall off, for people to betray me because they wasn't meant to be there, because I am where I am today and I'm going where I am today. And I have a tremendous overflow that's coming to me.
Absolutely, Chief.
We're good to go, guys.
We're good to go. You have Chief has a tremendous overflow coming. I have a tremendous overflow coming. We all do. So stay encouraged, family. Somebody asked me, Kia, are you sure all this is going to happen? I said, look, there's a reason why banks accumulated gold in record numbers. I started talking about gold when I lived on the gold mines, where I lived around the gold mines in 2014 in Ghana. I was like, something's happening. And I reported on back then on my Facebook. It's like something I see all the Chinese are here mining, Lebanese, Europeans, they're here mining gold in Ghana. Something's happening. 2014. And then 2015, I discovered a book called Africa is China's Second Continent. I was like, oh, so they're mining gold for a reason. This is and you will read articles now, they'll say China's been secretively accumulating gold. 2014, 2015, I was talking about it. 2017, I started talking about, hey, I think we're moving to the gold standard. Trump's talking about nominating Dr. Judy Shelton to be over the Federal Reserve, and she happens to be an economist, a businesswoman, and a supporter of the gold standard. Then 2018, I started talking about gold and silver. And then I came on my podcast and I was like, look, something's happening. They're not telling we the people. Then in 2021, I partnered up with Miles Franklin Precious Metals Company and started selling silver and gold. In 2022, my channel on YouTube got completely taken off while I was talking about silver and gold. They dismantled my channel. And I was like, why? No, but they weren't talking about silver and gold. Now we're in 2026. You see silver and gold commercials. Now podcasters are talking about silver and gold. Companies are running out of silver and gold. Wholesalers are running out of silver and gold. That's how I know this is real, because I've been talking about this for 12 years now. And now you can buy gold Arum notes, also known as gold backs. Since I've been talking about silver and gold, there's a whole website called goldback.com where you can buy gold backs. What are gold backs? 24 karat gold pressed onto a note that you can use right now to buy local goods and services. Things are happening whether people want to admit it or not. Listen, if it wasn't happening, there would be no such thing as gold backs. The Supreme Court of the United States would not have said that state-sponsored banks can operate separately from the Federal Reserve central banking system and issue out their own gold-backed currency. As Chief said, things are happening, and it's a wonderful time to be alive. I talked to people about gold backs for years, and people were saying, oh, no, we're never returned to the gold standard. Gold is a relic, because they just didn't know. They didn't mean any harm. But here we are today, and we encourage people. And when people on my main channel didn't necessarily know about it, they thought it was kind of weird, I just created a private group and we started talking about gold and silver there. And then we started telling people a year ago, consider copper. Actually, a few years ago, but then we really went hard and said, consider copper. And we started talking about foreign currencies, and we showed all these countries unveiling their new gold-backed foreign currencies. We talk about all these things in a private group. We talk about trust, how to protect your assets in the trust, all these things that we don't necessarily talk about in the public, we'll speak on in the private, where we have a group of dedicated people who desire to learn these. And we don't have to have, people in the comment section saying we're making this stuff up. So if you're interested in joining a private group family, please, you can hit the like button, follow the link, go to the link and follow the prompts. The link is on my main channel or any of my videos. It'll say join. Click join and you'll be in. And that's all I have to say, Chief. I just want to let people know that this is all real. Oh, thank you, Sister Cleo. Sister Cleo says, thank you both for your time. You're welcome. Thank you for the gift. Thank you, Sister Cleo. Thank you for your comments. I just want people to know that it's true, Chief.
It is.
It is. All right. They're asking for your help for a private trust. Hi, Magna. Is that Magna? Oh, Megan. Okay. Contact Chief Mac at unityinmotion45@yahoo.com. UNITYINMOTIN45@yahoo.com. Ezra said precious metals are more than money. You can build all kinds of technology and projects with precious metals. All right. Okay. Well, I think we're done. Are we done, Chief?
Yeah, we're done.
We're done. Okay. Thank you for coming on, Chief. I didn't know you were going to go live tonight. So when I called you, you were like, you know what? We had the same thought to go live. I'll just join you. So I thank you so much, Chief. You don't have to do that. You're always available. All right, family. Anything else, Chief?
That's it, guys. Just be encouraged. Be on the lookout. Stay prayed up. And keep operating authenticity, accountability, and gratitude.
That's it. So you've heard from Chief Mac. Thank you, Chief. Chief of the Soul Tribe. And I'm Dr. Kia Pruitt. I hope and I trust that we've said something to raise your vibrations, family, and to inspire you to create the most amazing, magnificent life that you desire and deserve. Thank you. And thank you for the gifts that you all are sending me. I appreciate you. We'll hear from Chief likely sometime tomorrow. Thank you, Miller. Thank you for the Cash App gift. We love you. Good night. Good night, Chief.
Good night.
See you tomorrow. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Okay, guys. Take care.
Take care. Thank you, family. I love you, family, and I appreciate you. Have a good night. And remember, if there's something on your mind that you've been trying to resolve, or you got a question you need answered, think about it in your mind before you go to sleep. And tell yourself, I'm going to resolve this issue. Then you can speak to your ancestors, to God, the Most High, or whomever, and go to sleep. And then your self-conscious mind or subconscious mind will work out that issue. You'll have a dream, you'll have a thought, you have something that will happen while you're asleep. Everything is quiet and you were intentional about resolving that issue. Then, family, when you wake up, you will have it resolved. This is why our ancestors, when they would be asked a question or they would contemplate something, they would say, let me think on it or let me sleep on it, because they knew their subconscious mind would work it out. And then finally, let me show you this beautiful, beautiful video by a brilliant, gifted child. I just want to encourage you. Watch this. Watch what he says you should do if you want an answer to something.
To share your brilliance with, because I haven't heard you talk about it in a while. And I'm like, do you talk about this at school? And you said no. Can you share again what you said to me?
So I talk to myself in the bathroom with a mirror.
In front of a what?
In front of a mirror. So like the mirror is basically a gateway or a thing that's in the dimension that will basically lead to you in an infinite timeline of other dimensions. So if you look in a mirror and say something, that will, one of your other selves in one of the infinite dimensions will hear it. And basically it'll come back to you because it's a mirror.
So then you should speak positive things to yourself in the mirror?
Yes.
Can you speak what you want your future to be like in the mirror and then it will come back to you?
Yes, but it will, you don't shout it or say it loudly because then your brain will have to analyze it and there will also be doubt. So you also whisper it, which passes through the mind barrier instantly. So it's like a secret, something you keep secret, and you wanna slowly but surely manifest it.
Really?
So you whisper it in the mirror.
And you've been doing this? Oh my gosh, baby.
Wow.
That's to share your brilliance with because I haven't heard you talk about it in a while.
Just a brilliant baby. So I just wanted to leave you with that, family, to let you know that there are some things that we can do because we do have the power to change our circumstances. And that's it, family. I love you so much. Please have a good night and rest well. Good night, Soul Tribe. See you in the rising in the morning. Peace.